Hey everybody, this is Lit Rocket. Just want to say hey and let you know what I was getting ready to do today. I am getting ready to go to a rock concert, and that brings me to my first topic that I really wanted to talk about since I'm really big into rock and roll. I'm not really into much of the modern stuff that's out on the radio, particularly in the top 40 format, simply because I don't get the messages or what the point is of what they're trying to say, other than I understand the fact that they're trying to sell records, but they don't say anything. Um, I'll give you an example of this. The Paris Hilton new single, I guess it's called Stars Are Blind or whatever. And what is she? Is she a singer songwriter? Is she a model? Is she an author? Or is she a reality TV star? I just don't get it. I really don't. It really kind of annoys me that people buy this stuff, but again, if it's what floats your boat, I'm not gonna stop you, and more power to you. It's part of individuality, I guess. But I'm more into older school bands such as Leonard Skinner, AC/DC, of course, they rock. Um, I love Judas Priest. I like the Sex Pistols. Um, let's see another band that other bands that I like. I am hugely into um, Kiss, and I'm a huge fan of Motley Crue. I went to one of their shows last year, and it was awesome on the Carnival of Sins tour. I personally recommend that if you want to go to a kick-ass rock show, you can't get any better than Motley Crue, because Motley Crue basically has the pyro, the the video, the visual effects, the music, the awesome, the sound is just unreal. Your ears will be ringing and everything. But it's an awesome show. Another band that was hugely into and I got a chance to go see was Van Halen. I'm hugely into Van Halen because when I was younger in the late 80s, early 90s, at the old St. Louis Arena, they used to always play two Van Halen songs during warm-ups. The first one, of course, was Jump, and the second, of course, was Right Now. Um, the, the reason I guess I was into Van Halen was because I first got into the whole synthesizer keyboard type sound, which they produced off of the 1984 album, and it was just awesome, and I couldn't believe that you could make all sorts of crazy sounds like that. Another group that I'm really into that's kind of progressive more sounding is Pink Floyd, which they just came out with a new DVD of their last concert actually that they did together, and that's called Pulse. It was originally came out on VHS, but now it's on DVD, so I recommend that a lot of people go get that. Another band that I'm into is David Coverdale's Whitesnake. Basically, the way I got into Whitesnake was, of course, through Tawny Kitaen because I thought she was very hot, and she still is pretty hot. Um, but I have their latest DVD as well, which is pretty cool. They did that over in London. Um, I'm just really into music that is very strong, very opinionated. I love a couple newer bands that I like is of course Godsmack. And they're touring with Shinedown. I've got to see I had the chance to see Shinedown when they toured with Van Halen for a little while as the opening act. I'm also big on the newest band, Angels and Airwaves. They're kind of a lighter sounding band, but they use the keyboard stuff, so I'm good with that. Let's see. I do like some Staind stuff, but I do have one thing with Staind is that some of their stuff does sound a little bit the same overall on the songs, and I like a lot of variety on an album. Um, but again, if you have a good format too, you can't knock that either way. Um, let's see other bands that I'm into. I'm into Aerosmith too, and Aerosmith is touring with Motley Crue. In fact, they're coming through my area, so I'll probably get a chance to go see them. In fact, I think their tickets went on sale today for a lot of their shows, so check that out as well if you're into that. Well, my biggest thing is that I'm into music because it gives me a creative outlet. It helps me share my opinions, and I just love music that has a message to it. I'm a huge fan of Led Zeppelin. And by the way, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, Jason Bonham, and the bass player. I don't know who the bass player was. Unfortunately, forgive me, I don't. But he kicks ass too. But my personal feeling is that four of those guys should get back together and do one last tour. I would give my just all the money that I could make in a lifetime, I guess, to go to one of those shows because Robert Plant and Jimmy Page are rock gods. Another group that I'm into is Black Sabbath. Those two bands, Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath, are supposedly or arguably what started heavy metal. I love Alice Cooper. Like I said, the guy that I'm going to see tonight, Ted Nugent. I'm a huge fan of. The reason I like Ted is not only for his music and songs like Stranglehold and Cat Scratch Fever and Kiss My Ass, which is my personal favorite. But I agree with a lot of what he stands for. He's really, I think, in a lot of ways enables or embodies the American spirit of, enterprise and really just being a rebel. And one of the things that I'm big on is He's big on guns and hunting, and I unfortunately cannot hunt, but I do enjoy, you know, that aspect. And if I could hunt, I would. But and I love to hunt, but I do love to fish as well. Um, Kind of that spirit of the wild mentality that he has too is really cool too. And he calls it the wild orgy of rock and roll. It happens at all of his shows, so I'm sure that I'll hear that tonight at the show. I will probably be back on later tonight or tomorrow because I'll probably be getting in really late. But tomorrow, telling you all about the show and everything. So anyway, I just wanted to say hey you guys and let you guys know what I'm up to and talk a little bit about what I like musically. Probably one of the things that I'm gonna want to talk about next is the sports world because as of course, being a guy, of course, it's not being stereotypical there, but I'm big on sports, and I'll talk a little bit about my sports. Talk a little bit about my sports today, but I'll get into more of that later. Um, so remember the two things about me. One is that you always should keep on rocking, and two, if you got something to say it. So, like I said, folks, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, whatever, and have a great Saturday afternoon, and I will catch you later. Rock on!